Queen stand up zone. For the faithful at home, it's the MetsXMFanZone. From Flushing, Queens to the whole damn world. Best damn podcast flag you ever unfurled. Yeah! MetsXMFanZone! Let's go, Mets! Queen stand up, yeah, we bringing that fire. City Field Thunder, taking this game higher. Hard-hitting analysis, yeah, we in the zone. For the faithful at home, it's the MetsXMFanZone. From Flushing, Queens to the whole damn world. Best damn podcast flag you ever unfurled. Yeah! MetsXMFanZone! Let's go, Mets! Queen stand up, yeah, we bringing that fire. City Field Thunder, taking this game higher. Hard-hitting analysis, yeah, we in the zone. For the faithful at home, it's the MetsXMFanZone. From Flushing, Queens to the whole damn world. Best damn podcast flag you ever unfurled. Yeah! MetsXMFanZone! Let's go, Mets! Queen stand.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of the MetsXMFanZone, my podcast, home of your everything New York Mets. If you guys are enjoying our show and love our shows, you guys can always tweet, like, and subscribe, because by you doing so, you're loving our channel, and we love you for that. So we're always here to give you guys updated Mets news each and every day, and we go live on that every day. But also, if you guys love today's stream and you want to catch today's game, you guys can check it out by going on to our MetsXMFanZone.com. All the links are in our show notes. Today we're going to be giving you the matchup. We got the New York Mets versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Today's game is brought to you by SPM Apparels. Everything that you see in our show today is sponsored by SPM Apparel. So we want to thank SPM Apparels for sponsoring our show. All the gear that I always show throughout the remaining of the season. Everything that I wear, everything that we have up will be through SPM Apparel Shop. And you could also go on to MetsXMFanZone/shop and you can get all of your Mets gear today. So let's get into today's show. Apparently, I didn't have the full context of the lineup card. I want to apologize. We ended up getting a little bit late on that, but I will have it posted up throughout our content. But if you miss anything here on our show, it will be live. It will be on our website by going to MetsXMFanZone.com. Everything that I talk about in this stream is for educational purposes only. However, we are not taking chats, so I know a lot of you guys will be probably commenting in throughout all of our platforms. So if you guys have questions for me, you can head over to MetsXMFanZone.com. You can head over to our community. You can leave them in there, and we'll answer them live again tomorrow on air at 8:30, where we do our shows. So let's go into the live game for today. So we got the New York Mets versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we have two really good pitchers on the mound for today's game. We got Carson Minowski. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Minowski. And then on the mound for the New York Mets, we got Nolan McLean on the mound. Now, we got a really good matchup today. However, it's a little breezy out there, fellas. So if you are heading out here to Citi Field, it's great to have you. But also, we got some transit updates for you guys, because a lot of you guys have been asking, hey, give us the transit updates if we're heading out to Citi Field, and I want to be able to have that for you. So, today, with the LIRR, if you are are traveling with the LIRR, there is a 5-minute slowdown. So heading out the City of Fields, it is a little bit slow. They are a little bit backed up. But, however, if you are traveling on the 7 line, you better get there now, because if you don't get there now, then you're going to be a little bit late to the party. So make sure that you guys head out there. Right now, the 7 line is in full boat. So heading on out here. Now, if you are driving down to the stadium, just to keep everybody in the know, on the $50, it is not $50. It is right now $40. So if you head to the stadium, it is $50 at gate. However, if you do it beforehand, if you go on TickPick, or if you're going on Ticketmaster, I suggest going on Ticketmaster. It is $40 in advance. So people are calling out bullshit. So I recommend getting here at least an hour, 2 hours, at least, I would say at least 3 hours before game time. So if you guys are getting here beforehand, we expect to see you to get here a lot earlier than expected. So, however, the tickets are $40 if you're parking in the stadium, but we do recommend going through mass transit. Also, now let's get into the swing of things. There's no reports in regards to injury reports, so that's good there. So we don't really want to cover that too much. But today's game, let's touch up on this. We got a couple of my predictions that I'm going to be giving you guys through some of the betting apps. So I'm going to give you guys some of my tips and predictions for this one. I'll go over the lineup card and giving you my top players to go on a player parlay. Now, just so everybody knows, it is for educational purposes only. Everything that I talk about on the betting side of things, if you are betting on baseball, it's going to be a cold one out here today. So there's going to be a little of a disadvantage for today's game. Both players, this is going to be a pitching duel. The hitting and the runs are going to be very low in this one. If you're looking on Fandom, Fanatics, and BetMGM, the score production is at 1.5. It's going to be very low to start off on the game. Strategy is to always go on alternative spreads when you look at that. So if you're going on money line, the Mets are considered still the favorites in this one. I suggest going on the points on this one. I will not go on the money on this game. Reason being is that the pitchers, it's going to be a pitching duel because we got Nolan McLean on the mound, we got Mineski on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So there could very well be a pitching duel. The strikeout ratio is going to be very high today. It's going to be well over at more than likely at 15 strikeouts total between both teams. So this could very well look like a really good matchup between Nolan McLean and also on Mineski's side. So that could very well be very high on the strikeout ratio. Both pitchers to go at least 6+ innings in today's game. So expect to see going a little bit longer than expected. Game could go very long today because of the temperature that is here at Citi Fields. It's gonna feel like in the 30s in the stadium because it gets very cold, especially if you're in, the upstairs, or if you're in the cellar clubs, or if you're right underneath the awnings. They get very cold, so make sure that you guys bundle up on this one. So, I've seen people that were bringing like the sweaters and bringing, blankets with them. Bring hand warmers. It's going to be really cold in this one. So, and plus this is game 3. So there is going to be quite this series, finishing up this series and then going into the next series. It's going to be quite cold, but it'll be warmer up in the next couple of days. So hopefully, getting to Citi Field won't be as terrible like it is the last 2 days. But, I think today might be a little bit better. It might be a little bit warmer. I don't see, being a little bit, in regards to being on the field for these players. It gets really cold out there for them. So the pitching duel is going to be, it's definitely going to be very, very high on the spectrum. So I think that now, again, with the pitching, it's going to be very high. Again, like I said, go over the strikeout ratio of 8. They have it projected on all these apps. And just so everybody knows, we're going on an estimate between the 3 apps. Those change within game time. So if you are betting on those, if you bet before game time, it's going to be well over. It's going to be, right now it's at 6.5. It's going to probably go over right during game time. So if you're doing an in-game parlay, I suggest doing a little bit more of the in-game and not before game time, because again, the weather deviates and kind of changes within game time. So, I would really go with in-game. But if you're betting before game, then I would stay on a alternative spread at over 8 strikeouts in this one. So that's going to be combined for the both pitchers. Now, innings pitched between both of them, more than likely at 6, I would say, for both pitchers in this one. Nolan McLean, we all know on how he is as a pitcher. We've seen it in spring, and same thing, guy, that goes with the Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher. They're both very, very good. But who's going to get the upper hand on this one? I'm going to go with the W on Nolan McLean. Why? Because I think he's going to get a little bit of the upper hand. The Mets are hitting. They are been hitting over. So I am going to go on the over and under for Nolan McLean in this one. And I think he's definitely going to have a better strikeout rate than I would say on the opposite team pitching. Because the Mets right now have a little bit of the upper hand with the scoring and the RBIs. So I would definitely say to have the RBI ratio very high on the spectrum for today, but I would play it safe, as I would say. All right, so let's go with the now the players. We're going to go with the odds, and we're also going to go with the parlays. So what do we have here in regards to players throughout today's game? Now, we have my number 1 guy I always love to pick because he's always a parlay machine, which is going to be Juan Soto. Now, again, a lot of people don't have it here on the screen on our other platforms, which is through TikTok, but everybody else will be able to see it. Why would I go with Juan Soto? Well, Juan Soto is always an RBI guy, likes to hit home runs. In these conditions, it's a little difficult, so I'm not going to go with 110% on the parlay because I have this very low. So I would go with a 1 home run for today, even though I have it at 50%. Kind of looking at what Juan Soto did yesterday, he didn't do too much, but I definitely think that Juan Soto could easily put up numbers every day for me. So I would go with Juan Soto at 1+ home run. Then going with 2 RBIs. Again, he is an RBI machine. He can get hits, he can steal, he can run. But I am going to put Juan Soto to go with 2+ RBIs in today's matchup. And then going with runs, I would go with 2+ runs. And this here would be a 4-leg parlay. What are the numbers? What are the numbers suggested in this 4-leg parlay on FanDuel, Fanatics, and BetMGM? Is at plus 575. If you're betting on a $10 bet here, could win you at $578.74. This parlay has a 76.78% chance of winning. So this is projected between all three of these platforms. So the odds of him winning could very well give you some good numbers if you're going a little bit more. If you go less or more, I mean, I would suggest going at $10 because it's not a riskier shot, I would say. It would be a little bit over 25. If you're going over 25, then that's a risky bet. But I would stay at $10. My number 2 guy is giving a big shot in this one, and that's Francisco Lindor. I think Lindor, is starting to swing again a little bit up into the strike zone, kind of going more in the home runs. You don't want that out of this guy. He's got to be a little bit more patient at the plate. He's not patient. He really isn't. He's over swings. He's not as leveled at the plate at times, but yesterday he didn't look terrible. So how would I suggest this parlay in today's game? I am more than likely going to go with a home run because of this matchup. He does hit very good against righties. His ERA has been a little bit up against righties in 25 so far in spring. His RBI ratio was a little bit up. Kind of going from the right side of the plate. Could be a little bit different in this matchup, especially, the weather conditions. I am going to go with 1+ home run, just to kind of give him a little bit more confidence at the plate. So I would go with 1+ home run. And then if he gets on, say for argument's sake, he just doesn't do a lot of the hitting in this game, then I am going to go with getting on base and then getting RBIs out of this. So I am going to go with 1+ RBI. Then go with the run production. If he somehow, hits around the field, I definitely suggest that he would do that. Again, I know he's good for power, but he's not. He's a guy that likes to hit around the field. So I'm okay with that if he doesn't hit home runs. But I would suggest with the 1+ run. Oh, we got a lot of people going to the game today. Oh, it will be great to see everybody. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. All right, so now let's go with back to the Juan Soto, back to Francisco Lindor. So that parlay is also a 4-leg parlay. That number is ranked at 528. Going at the $10 will land you at $241.71. Now that's again projected between the 3 apps. My confidence level on that parlay is right at around 83%. I do see if he could get on, and if he could convert, if he could get hits, then I would definitely be a little bit more confident in this parlay. So I would say put your money where your mouth is on this one. So I would say go at $10. It's not a big risk, But if you're going $25, it could be a little bit more riskier. But, I mean, I would say $10 would make a really good money maker on this one. If he could pull from the left side of the plate, which he has been doing as of recently in these last 2 games, I definitely would say this could be a money bags win for Francisco Lindor. So the shot of him winning is very high. So I would say him as my number 2 pick. It's going to be David Peterson that's pitch. I'm sorry, not Peterson. Nolan McLean pitching today. So let's go with my topic, and also that's ranked at 83%. So everybody knows. I don't think I said that. So on my 3rd pick for today's game, who am I going for in my 3rd pick for today's game? And that would be Carson Bench. A lot of ground to cover with Bench because we've seen it in the last 2 games. He's been, swinging at outside the pitch a lot. Looks like he's chasing. However, it's still early for him, and I know he's trying to get his feet wet as a major league hitter. He's very good out in the outfield. I've noticed that he's been trying to, get a little bit more towards center field. He's a good he's a good outfielder. I mean, we had Luis Roberts out there yesterday kind of calling him off and whatnot. He's trying to get a little bit into the action. Good outfielder. He's been chasing a little bit. Did strike out yesterday. How can I determine him in this one? I am going to go with that bounce back first game. I am expecting him to get a home run today. So, could get the home run. I mean, it's a little bit of a riskier odd on game 3, but with this pitcher, he tends to have some execution if he slips right into the strike zone, which if he's throwing the slider, expect to see Carson Bench attack that slider today. I am going to be going with the home run odds on that. It is a 45 to a 78% shot of getting it. I would definitely say the home run ratio though. So I'm definitely putting that in a parlay. In hits, stolen bases, or run production, I would definitely go with the 1+ run. If he could get on, be a little bit patient at the plate, then I think he would definitely be a run-stealing producer. And then kind of, getting the extra base hits. I mean, he is a very good hitter. I know the first game we saw the home run out, which was his second, I think it was like his second at bat. Had some really good execution on that slider. However, the fastball tends to slip up on him just a little bit if it's a little outside of the strike zone. But I do feel very confident in him in this matchup today. So again, if the pitcher is throwing a little bit of the slider, kind of go with the fastball in that sequencing, he could very well hit it out of the park. So I am going to go with the 1+ home run in here. I am going to go with a hit and a walk for today's matchup. I want to see him be a little bit more patient at the plate. Right now, he's pushing it to show some impression to the team. So I think he'll be just fine in today's matchup. So what are we looking at? That right there is a 3-leg parlay. On his conversion rate is going to be at 650. It's going to be a little bit higher than expected. So if you're looking at the payout on this matchup between all 3 parlays, on all 3 of this parlay, 650 is plus, and the payout on $10 could land you at $542 at 58 cents, which my confidence level on this is right around 65%, 70. but if he can convert, I definitely think that he can have a game today. I'm going to go with him at least 3 for 4. I think he's going to definitely attack the strike zone. And then now we're going to go with my main guy for today's game, and that's going to be Luis Roberts Jr. Yesterday, very good pickup from last night. We saw the fastball get attacked into the strike zone, and he attacked it, which hit that 3-run home run in the bottom of the 11th. The Mets ended up winning 4-2. That was a deal breaker, I think, for the Mets. It was such a really good sign. However, I wasn't very confident in that sign. A lot of people liked that sign. I didn't really, but I have to say, I could be wrong. But I mean, so far, impression makes a big deal. I think with the White Sox, he didn't really, I just think that being from a broken team, it doesn't get to show what your ability is able to do. And yesterday he looked, since coming to the New York Mets, he's kind of showing a really big impression. What is he looking like at the plate right now is attacking the fastball, and he's launching them out of the ballpark. Confidence level in this matchup, I am definitely going again on the home run in today's game. I think I would definitely go with the 1+ home run. I think he's going to run around the bases today. So I'm going to go with a steal. So I'm going to go with a 1+ steal, 1+ home run, and I would say 1+ RBI. I don't really see him going over that, but if he can still have good execution on the fastball from the right side of plate, right now he's at 65% on the right side. Left side, he is a little bit more aggressive. He's at 75% on the left side of plate. I think he does have a better conversion rate there. I would more than likely pick him as my number 1 pick. He has good odds, so the numbers might be a little bit lower. Every one of those are around 1 to 200 plus, which if you're going back to back on matchups, it could very well be a type of guy that could make money on, but also not as much money. On the 4-leg parlay in this matchup, I would more than likely say it at 65% on a $10 bet on a 4-leg parlay could land you 210. Again, it's not a big payout, but on the 4-leg, it would be suggested at 210 within all 3 platforms. So it could give you some money. If you're gonna go on a $25 bet, then it would be a little bit more, but not too much more. It'll probably be another $50 if you're going through all the other platforms. But $10 could land you some really good money here, and I think it, being predicted in the pitching today, again going against the pitcher, could have some good conversion rates. So I definitely would say if you're going on a 4-leg parlay with Luis Roberts Jr., again, the number could be a little bit low, but also the payout could be a little bit in between the 50-50 range. But I would definitely say Luis Roberts Jr. to be my number 1 top pick. It being at the confidence level around 65 to 78% for him to land on a parlay like that today. So let's go with the hits, total hits for today's game, total runs, and what would be the final score in today's matchup. Now, if you are going on the money line, I would play it safe and go with the money line. But if you are going to go with the points, I would definitely go on the points with the Pirates, because the Pirates are on the points, the Mets are on the money line, I would go on the Mets on the money line and take the over at 5.5. They have the over on 5.5. I would go on a alternative spread, and I would honestly go with the over at the 8.5. So that number could be well grounded. So I would definitely go with I always suggest going on alternative spreads because those are where you make your money. So you could do that. Now, going with hits, I am suggesting today total to go with 13 hits total between overall on Mets and Pirates. I will go with 13 hits. Scoring runs, I would definitely go over 7.5. Those payouts are a little bit more. So if you're going to hits, runs, and if you're going hit, runs, and point spreads, those give you really good odds. So you could mix match them on a parlay, or if you want, you could just go individual. I know when you're going with hits and runs and going on a selective team, if you go Mets runs at 13, and then if you're going on the points, I mean the points is not going to be transferable, but I would say definitely take everything on the alternative spread. And then going on the three, and that would kind of like be part of the 3 too. So that the odds on those are very highly over, like at least $200. It depends on what app you're really doing it on. If you're doing it on FanDom, expect not much on that one. But if you go on BetMGM, the bet could be like around $50 or $60. If you go on Fanatics always gives really good odds. So I really like when I go on Fanatics, where the money is always a little bit more. But if you're betting on if you bet the 50% boost, whatever it is, you could have good odds there. So if the app gives it to you, so I would go somewhere on that. And then, so what are we looking? What's today looking like on a final score? So if I'm going on today's game, the Mets are going to have the upper hand. So money line on the Mets, upper hand on the final score. I would say 7-3, the New York Mets to land the W in this matchup. Now, if you guys love everything that you hear in today's game, everything that I talked about is on the website. If you are going to be at the stadium, great to have everybody at the stadium. If you're not at the stadium and are looking for an alternative to see today's game, MetsXMFanZone.com is the place to go. We want to thank the New York Mets for allowing us to do it. So if you are looking for something reliable with no advertisements, no TV providers, no pop-ups, everything is VPN secured, and you want something on the go, or if you're not in the area, or if you're on another app, definitely MetsXMFanZone.com is the place to be. And it gives you no blackouts. You'll never miss a game. It's always live 24/7, and we give you all of that content throughout our platform. So we want to thank everybody for joining us here in this live stream. We're always keeping you updated with all of your New York Mets news, my predictions, also my analysis on betting on these apps. But also, just to let everybody know too, as a disclaimer, that everything that I talk about, winnings, losings, is your discretion. It is for entertainment purposes only. So if you have a betting issue, you could always limit yourself on these apps. But if you just betting once in a blue moon, I guarantee you that, hey, you have good odds of always winning. So you can check out those apps. But if you have a problem, please limit yourself on the app. And if you really got a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. They are always there to help people on those platforms. So we want to thank everybody for joining us. Today's matchup, we got the New York Mets versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is the last game of the series, where we head over to the St. Louis Cardinals in our next series, which is tomorrow. And you can catch today's action live on our website by going to MetsXMFanZone.com. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.